Hey guys, today we're doing the November Shop My Stash and I'm ready for it. I'm ready to switch out all my October products. If you saw my last Shop My Stash, I did bring in, if you remember, a lot of berry tones and was really like gung-ho on the whole berry situation because I hadn't worn that much lipstick all summer long, all September, so I was ready for it. But now I'm kind of turning a little bit of a corner because I'm just like, okay, I'm over the berry for a little bit. I do keep an inventory of all my makeup in my bullet journal here, so this helps me keep track of what I haven't used in a while. I just check them off as I go along, and whatever doesn't have a check mark, that's kind of the priority products that I choose to bring in. My goal personally is to use my entire makeup collection, leave no stone unturned. I am trying to slim my collection down and I really want to see what I still like and what I don't like, and the best way for me to do that is to cycle through all my products and make sure I'm using everything. So maybe that will help me make some decisions for what I can keep or not keep. And what stood out to me from the last Shop My Stash. Last month I pulled in the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. Thing with this, I know I really like this palette a lot and I just wanted to get more use out of it. It's like, it's just a lot of browns, which is great. I mean, that's the point, right? I think some of these browns might be a little darker than what I'm used to wearing. I did kind of have to push myself out of the comfort zone. You can get a little bit of brown fatigue using this palette, so I was kind of getting that a little bit, but then I realized that there's a lot of different ways to wear brown on your lids. But yeah, the matte shades are really hard to show any type of usage in. I think that's just the nature of matte shadows. So that was one big takeaway that I got from this was, as much as I have used this in the past, man, and even this cycle, it's like I even touched some of those browns, you know what I mean, the matte ones especially, but I know I did. So that's just something to note for anybody who's like frustrated with a project pan of some sort or visible usage out of their products, that mattes are tough, but it doesn't matter as long as you know you're using them. That's what I always say. Like, I do find that a lot of shadows in this palette are more pigmented. I have to use like a lighter hand with it sometimes. I'm always like trying to figure out a work-friendly combination that wasn't just like the shimmery ones. I was trying to make these, you know, other colors a little bit more appropriate for work, but at the same time I did welcome wearing like a smokier brown eye to work as well, because I don't really do that and I think it looks quite lovely even if it is just to work. This Benefit Where There's Smoke eyeshadow, which I used to wear back in the day as like a smoky crease, like if I was going out or something. And then there's Matte Coquette, which same thing, like I would wear this in the crease for like going out or whatever. That's something I learned about these two, was that my initial like, oh, I'm saving those for a night out. Happy to learn that I can wear shadows like this daily. The Queen Tiffany shade, when I pulled this out last month, I was like, do I really like this shade? And I couldn't remember for the life of me what it even looked like on me. And it turns out this is like one of my favorite eyeshadows that I pulled in this month and in general, because it looks just so pretty on the lid. Shimmery, like tan brown shade, and a great standalone eyeshadow. You don't need to use like a crease shade with it or anything. You could just blend it up a little bit and it looks great. So you never know with your makeup like what you're gonna end up loving. You don't realize the potential of your makeup, so it's always good to do these things. This e.l.f. lipstick is called Wine Tour, and yes, there's a little bit of mixing in with other colors there, but it turns out I thought I was like not feeling the formula. I thought I was not sure about the color, and I really, really love this color. This color is a just really pretty, kind of like a deep fuchsia shade that I really enjoyed wearing. So I got way more use out of this than I ever have since owning it, and I bought it a couple years ago. And I'm just really glad to know that I enjoy this color and that it's worth keeping around. So I just wanted to make that note as well. I also decided to bring in this Amazing Grace perfume, which is by Philosophy and total QVC staple from back in the day. But this was a really great, less sultry scent, and I really appreciated using that and getting more use out of my fragrances. I'll probably continue to bring this into this month in addition to the same 3 perfumes from the last month. And that's in my last video if you want to check those perfumes out. This was not mentioned in the last one, and I wore this quite a few times this month as well. And with the whole like sultry like perfumes that I would only wear for special occasions, I loved bringing it out to wear just to work. But I only did like a little spritz and I didn't feel like it was too much, and I was happy to use it. Like, sometimes it's nice just to bring things out and use and not wait for special occasions. And I've had that perfume for so long, the Calvin Klein Euphoria one, that I mean, when else are you going to use these things? We don't go out anymore. There's a pandemic, so that's that. So let's get into the products for this month finally. First things first, let's talk eyeshadow and eye products. So I'm bringing in this Wet n Wild, the original Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette again, but this time I'm focusing on this color all the way down here. This is the original one. This is not the newer palette, obviously you can tell. And this is the shade all the way in the bottom, and this shade is really cool. It is this reddish blue, you've seen this before probably, like that type of duochrome, that like shift is like a brownish red to like a teal kind of color. It's really neat. And I saw someone on YouTube create a look with this. It's an older video, but I was like, you know what? I've never used this shade before. I maybe used it once or twice, and I think I had a MAC pigment that was like that, but I've never used this from this palette. So I'm not really focusing on like this side or the top, literally just this one color. So I'm gonna bring that in and see what kind of looks I can make with that. I am bringing in all 4 of my ColourPop eyeshadows that I own. Get Lucky, which looks like this. It is just like a golden shade. I always feel like I'm flipping you guys off when I use my middle finger like that. Sorry, the light's kind of bright in here, but it looks like this. Just like a simple gold eyeshadow. This one is I Heart This, which is, it's like a silvery rose gold. So I want to try that one out again because it's been a while. And Mooning, darker like that. Just like a plummy brown shade that has a little bit of glitter in it, but I don't think you can see the glitter as much on your lid, thank God, because I don't really like fallout and all that stuff. And this one is Birthday Girl, which is, it is this really sparkly, fancy, or at least its swatch is kind of fancy. Kind of like a, I'm not really great at describing colors right now. I don't know what's wrong with me, but this one is kind of like a champagne-y gold kind of color. I always feel like these are kind of to me. Like I don't think these stand out to me as being like favorites in my collection at all, which kind of sucks. The past couple times I've worn these, which, you know, it's been a while since I've actually pulled these out, a couple months at least, I just don't remember if I like love them or not. You know what I mean? I know that they're okay because I would have decluttered them a long time ago if I hated them, but I just really want to see. And they're cream products as well, so I feel like cream products, I'm a little bit more like, ooh, I need to get more use out of these before they dry up. So that's my other motivation for that. I'm bringing in 3 different MAC eyeshadows. This eyeshadow is called Dark Influence, and this is called a Rich Metal highlighter. I know like dark highlighter was a thing at one point. I don't know if this meant like as an actual like highlighter on your cheek. I know that there was like the black highlighter that came out once, but I don't wear this as a highlighter on my cheek. No way. I wear this just as a simple eyeshadow. It actually is a lot lighter and like, you know, wearable, I guess, if you want to say that, than it appears in the pan there. So I want to give this another go around because again, cream products, I mean, it's already old. Let's not kid ourselves here. It's already pretty old, but I feel like I do want to get more use out of that because it is cream. I'm also bringing in the Shale color by MAC, which is kind of like, it looks a little gray here, a grayish purple. I feel like I'm running out of fingers. I needed a break from all my brown eyeshadow, so this is like another type of cool toned purpley gray shade. This is another color that, again, I don't wear quite often at all. This is Vellum, iridescent type of white shade. It does have a really pretty kind of bluish purpley highlighty shifty duochromy. I can't explain it, but it doesn't come off ridiculously crazy. It's really cool actually. And again, do I need this in my collection? Because if I'm not going to wear it, it's beautiful in the pan, but if it doesn't make sense to wear on myself or doesn't feel right on me or whatever, I need to figure that out. So we're going to pull this in. Okay, I have here the NYX Girl Talk eyeshadow, peachy champagne-y metallic kind of shade because I want some sort of lighter eyeshadow to use in my stash. One of my many Bare Escentuals eyeshadows in Gold Leaf. If you don't know my saga with Bare Escentuals eyeshadows, I literally have way too many and I still kind of like them. I can't let go of them. I still like, you know, use them, but I also need to rotate them. And again, if I can cut any out, I will be more than happy to do that. But yeah, this is literally just like a golden type of shimmery eyeshadow that I really think will be pretty and something I need to use more of. I'm also gonna bring in this palette. This is the I Believe in Pink Too Faced palette. This is actually part of a set from maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, a holiday set that sister-in-law had given me. And this is just another nice change of pace here. This has a bunch of shimmery pink colors, but they're not like super pink. They're very like kind of toned down, and like there's also this really pretty mauve color. And it also comes with a little blush that I think I'm going to try and use more. Definitely want to take a break from super dark brown shades, so I think that'll be perfect for that. How am I doing on time? I am bringing in 2 black eyeliners. I used to wear black eyeliner a lot more back in the day. This is an Avon one. This is the shade just black. Not that deep there. I also have this older Physicians Formula liquid liner. This is the Sexy Booster in Ultra Black. Any kind of like liquidy type of eyeliner that I have, I'm kind of starting to be like, we need to use these and finish them because they're liquid and we don't want to keep them around for that much longer, even though I'll probably keep them for like another 3 years. But for blush, I am, like I said, I'm going to try to use this blush in this palette because it's not a blush I think to use ever because it's in this kind of a palette. I don't really pull this out for that. And I already have a shade that's like this as a single, but yeah, that one I'm going to pull in. In addition to my Project Pan blush, I have these 2 other CoverGirl blushes that have just been kind of ladies in waiting. Like they literally have been sitting there unused because I've been focusing on the one in the middle as well as other Shop My Stash products. So I definitely am going to use these 2 this month. And this is an older, shocker, eyeshadow by MAC called Earth to Earth. And this is a really pretty shimmery blush. It's not like scary shimmery, it's just pretty shimmery, so I need to wear this because it's been a really long time, and I think this will be a nice alternative to those more matte type of blushes that I have. So those are the only blushes I'm bringing in so I can really get use out of my Project Pan one and not get overwhelmed. I haven't really been switching out bronzers every single month. I don't have a lot of bronzers to begin with. I have maybe like 5 or 6. I count this as like one bronzer. I don't know why. And I do mix all 4 of these. They all kind of work, I guess, on me. So I'm gonna keep this one in, but in addition to that, I also want to bring out this Betty Luminizer bronzer as well. I didn't think I cared for this too much, so I really want to use this a little bit more and see how I feel about it, because you never know. Put a little bit of it on today and it doesn't look as scary and pigmented as I was remembering it to be, because I know this can be pretty pigmented, and this particular shade can look a little I don't know if it's like yellowy orange, I can't remember, but that's what this is for. We're gonna find out, and maybe I'll report next month on how I feel about this particular bronzer. Now for highlighters, this Tarte Stunner highlighter, which is not my typical like goldeny type of highlight. This is more silvery type of highlight, which I'm not really used to wearing that much, but I have started wearing that type of kind of highlighter this past month. And I want to continue using the highlighters and the powders on the top here in addition to this highlighter. So those will be the highlighters that I focus on this month. So for lipsticks, I pulled out this Maybelline Baddest Beige, like that. It was, I think Jaclyn Hill, yeah, Jaclyn Hill recommended this as a really good like nude, it's like a beige like it says. And I was looking for one at that time, so I ended up going with this. Something that kind of pales my lips down that I can wear with different eye looks. I do like to have, you know, neutral, nudie type of color every single month, and this is the one I'm picking out for this month. This color is MAC Stone. It's based on my bullet journal. It said that I had brought this out one other month before, like recently. I am trying to make a concerted effort to not stick with stuff that I used recently, but for some reason this month I just felt compelled to use this. And to be fair, I didn't really use this much the last Shop My Stash I did, so I'm pulling it in again, and I feel like it's appropriate for this month, and I do want to get more use out of it. I'm actually wearing it today, and I always thought this came out a little bit too gray on me, but I think it looks not too bad here. I think it depends how heavy or how thick you pile it on. So we're gonna give this a go, like a serious go this month, hopefully. This MAC Del Rio shade, like that. It's not as brown as a brick red, but it's kind of on that level, sort of. A little bit less intense though, as a brick red, but I'm gonna bring that in as one of my reddish types of colors, along with this Burt's Bees gloss that I really like. So this is a pigmented gloss, like it's definitely that brownish type of red that I really like. This one is called Sweet Sunset. I think this is always nice around fall time, so pulling that out. I didn't give up on my berry tones completely. Madison Mauve Maybelline color that looks like this, and this is definitely a purpley, similar to that e.l.f. color I brought in last month. It's a different formula. I'm not sure if I'm crazy about the formula, but I feel like I've been hot and cold with this lipstick. There's times when I don't think I like it, but then times I've worn it and I do like it, so we'll see. I am also bringing in this Avon lipstick called Mocha. This is a matte shade, so it is a pretty mocha color. I mean, it's like a cinnamon shade sort of, but maybe a little bit more brown. It's kind of nice. Okay. When you see this video, it's probably going to be like edited way shorter, but right now I'm at like 30 minutes and I'm like, yo. So for foundations, I feel like a broken record because I don't have tons of foundations. I only have 4 liquid ones, but I'm using these 3, the CoverGirl Olay one, pretty much for the shade. And I am trying to use these 2 up because it looks like there's not that much left, but I feel like makeup is so deceiving sometimes. Like you think there's nothing left and then you can get like 3 more years out of it. I have the Shiseido one and the e.l.f. medium cover, so I'm not going to give like a full-on review right now because I do like all of these. These are kind of more like matte type of shades, like demi matte type, and I do like all of these, so I will use them this month and probably the rest of the season until next year, or until I run out or whatever happens first. This one's a little bit dewier than these 2, but I do really like this one too. I'm gonna continue to use this primer this month because I didn't really get to use this one because of a Project Pan one, but I wanna get more use out of this. I only have like 3 primers in my collection, so I don't need to rotate these as often because I don't have as many. So I'm gonna continue using this, which I really do like, but it is getting up there in age, and while I'm not like a super stickler for expiration dates with base products, I get a little more conscious and aware of trying to finish them in a timely manner, so there's that. And for mascara, I'm going to continue to focus on trying to finish this Almay one. This one is still kicking. I don't know, it's still going, man. Like I use this all the time and I feel like by now it should be done, but it's not done. And I know you're supposed to get rid of these after like 3 months, but I don't follow that rule. I don't follow it. So far, no eye infections though, so we're still in the clear with that. I know it's Almay, it's so like blah brand, but like I do enjoy this. I can't deny it. Setting powder. Peach Perfect, which is a roll-in from last month. I'm going to keep using this. I don't have a lot of translucent powders that are, you know, loose like this, so I'm going to continue using this. And I've been using the MAC blot powder as well. I will use that if I need to, if I feel like doing touch-ups during the day, which isn't too often. Sometimes I just like let it go, but if I want to use it, it's there. And I pulled this out for the bronzers, but I also have been using like these 2. I find them to be very similar and I don't see much of a difference, so I have been using this in here as well as a setting powder, as well as the yellow-ish banana type of powder here. So I've been really kind of getting some good use out of my powders and rotating within those within the month. And this is the other Avon powder. Now the other one I had was for like the summer months. This one is the Flawless Ideal Avon powder in neutral, which is I think my only tinted powder that I'm using this month, and hoping to get more use out of this. This and the other Avon one I have, I'm really trying to like use these and kind of move them out of my collection at some point, because I think these are a little bit older, but they still work. But it's kind of one of those things where I do want to get this kind of rolling, and these take forever to use up for some reason, even though I do put it all over my face, so I don't get that. But we're going to try our best to use it as much as we can this month and see how far we get with that. Brow products, the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, which is another one that's really hard to use up. Here it is. Yeah, and this is what it looks like after this month. This is kind of older. Continue to use this because it is one of the few brow products I have. I think that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed my November products. And I hope you consider liking this video and subscribing to this channel. I'd love to have you along for all my beauty and maybe not even beauty adventures. I will see you in my next video, guys. Have a good one. Bye.